then Bitcoin breaks through $90,000. But the question many have been asking me is, what is my price target on Fantom? Am I holding Fantom into this bull run? We're going to break down exactly what I expect from this project. But first, we need to touch on Bitcoin quickly here. Breaking 90, going straight through to 91. And forget that even. We want to go straight for 92,000 big ones here on Bitcoin. Really, really strong, powerful pump after a slight consolidation. And this is very typical of when Bitcoin is in the rhythm. You're seeing Bitcoin here moving nicely. Inflation, the CPI inflation came in at 2.6%, which was exactly how economists were expecting it. It is slightly higher than the previous month at 2.4%, but again, economists had priced that in, markets had priced that in. That is allowing the market now to continue its move ahead, breaking through the resistance at around that 89, 90,000 level, and now heading straight towards 92,000. We could even be hitting this as I'm recording this video. So, quick update. If you've not watched my last couple of videos on Bitcoin, I suggest you get caught up on those because I share my breakdown, right? And the short and long of it is my first target was 89.5. We've dealt that blow. We've hit that target. The next target brings you to 97.7K here on Bitcoin. That's the next Fibonacci extension. And then the golden extension, the 1.618 level, gets you to $110,000 on Bitcoin. So this is exciting. A big move here on Bitcoin. And when you look at it, doesn't it just feel obvious? What I've been shouting all year, that this is a consolidation pattern. Doesn't it suddenly become obvious when it actually plays out? I mean, let's just bring out the EMA ribbon. You guys know my trusted EMA ribbon. It's so obvious in hindsight that we were just consolidating into the EMA ribbon. But it takes a lot of conviction. It takes a lot of guts and conviction to be buying in these levels in the EMA ribbon. And that is what I try to guide you guys to do. I did my best. I made videos on a daily basis. I shared with you guys that I thought this was just a consolidation pattern. I never changed my conviction on that. Go back to every single one of these videos. We spoke about it at length, and I continue to mention that the price target of this consolidation, right, this channel here takes you to that 90,000 level. And in fact, I shared the exact number, which is 97,000, which we're working our way to. Look at it, just following my green line. That is not a green line I drew today. This green line here was drawn as the flagpole. I mean, take it. Look, it's the flagpole from this move here. I applied it to the point of breakout, right? And you can see it's exactly where we're heading toward. 97,000 on Bitcoin. Exciting move. Now, what does that mean for altcoins? I know a lot of you will be tuning in just to find out what is my price target on Fantom, and I will be sharing that. First and foremost, we are above the EMA ribbon on Fantom, which is fantastic. Last week was big for a lot of altcoins, right? Fantom moved 30%. Not as strong as some other altcoins, but did move quite strongly. Now, that being said, if we go on to the Fantom weekly chart versus Bitcoin, it did underperform Bitcoin this week so far, but last week it did manage to have an alpha versus Bitcoin of 12%, which is healthy. It's not crazy, but it's healthy. Because remember, you want your altcoins, the ones you're invested in, to move at a multiple of the pace of Bitcoin. If they're not, why are you taking the risk of holding them, right? If Bitcoin's going to outmove all the altcoins, you just have a portfolio of Bitcoin, right? And you would just hold Bitcoin because it's the lower risk project. Why would you or I hold a $2 billion, $2.1 billion market cap project if we didn't think it could 10x or outpace Bitcoin? That's ultimately the reason why we hold smaller altcoins in our portfolios, because they have the higher potential velocity to move. And Fantom is one of those I've spoken about for many years now. I'm still holding in the portfolio. I still think they've got a lot to do, but they're alive. They're alive. They're kicking. If we take a look here at the Fantom chart, I do want to share with you some very important levels zooming into the chart here. And the first one you can see straight away. My white line there was resistance and support. You can see we've got rejected by it, right? Last week, that's where our wick started coming back in. And even this week, we're struggling. Let me just bring that down to the daily so you can see we're just struggling to break through this line. And if we need support, again, support doesn't come down until 56. So there's a long way down here to 56 for major support. You got a little bit of minor support coming around that 71 cents, which Fantom may opt to touch. If it does, could be a nice juicy nibble buy. That being said, once we clear this resistance, which is a tough level on Fantom, it's also the apex of this symmetrical triangle which we broke down from earlier in the year, we do have a clear ride up towards the previous high of this year, which we achieved in March. around that 1.14, 1.23 level, okay? And the wick did touch that 123 level. So $1.23 is on the cards here for Fantom. I wouldn't rule it out even by the end of this year. I think it can and have the potential to do that. And I think if you take a look at that move from where we're at now up and towards 123, you're looking at a 59% pump. I think it's capable. I still think it's undervalued. But that being said, this is a new cycle. And a new cycle comes with a lot of new competition. So Fantom's got to come out guns blazing. They've got to develop. They've got to have amazing tech. They've got to have better marketing than they've had in previous cycles. And they've got to get going. What's in Fantom's favor is these price points have previously been hit. Right, let me just zoom back up to the weekly target. We spoke about $1.23 being hit this year, right, when the Sonic excitement was happening. But go back to the previous cycle and we had Fantom hitting highs of $3.48. So if you apply the swing low to swing high here on Fantom, your golden pocket, which is your Fibonacci ratios here on your extensions, are $2.21 to $2.32. For me, that's a conservative target. I mean, if I'm holding a project into this next cycle, I'm only holding it because I at least think it's going to get back to previous all-time highs of $3.48. But come on, at the very, very least, you've got to be getting into this golden pocket. And I would be very surprised if Fantom couldn't work its way up towards those levels in the golden pocket, which again, if you're hitting the upper bound of that, it's a 200% move. So you're 200% up and 190% on the lower end. So 190, 200%, not too shabby here for an altcoin. Remember, it's not a small cap, right? It's a decent sized crypto now, sitting at $2.1 billion. Again, not going to get into the details of Fantom too much here. I liked it because it was undervalued in the last cycle. I felt like it didn't get as much hype and attention and notoriety. I feel like the tokenomics are good in terms of its fully diluted value when compared to other expensive layer 1 blockchains, which you guys can look at on CoinMarketCap, where a lot of the coins aren't in circulating supply, and therefore that downward pressure on the price action can come further down the line. I feel like they've got good tokenomics here, which allows it to set itself up for good success on the token. So that's one thing I am monitoring here on Fantom. So that's my first target. The longer term target after all-time high, and I still hold that this can happen, is this level here, the Fibonacci extension, $5.56. I know that sounds ludicrous now, but you have to remember this market, like you're seeing as we speak here on Bitcoin, is just ripe for move. It's just ripe to move. And we're seeing that happen through new money coming into crypto. And I'm going to remind you at the total, the whole reason Bitcoin and altcoins are moving right now is because of this chart. This chart shows that today, another approximately nearly, it's 90 billion, but just call it $100 billion is going to flow into crypto today. And that's got to find its way into Bitcoin, Ethereum, and all the other altcoins. And your question is, will your altcoin get a share of that pie, right? And we're touching back on that 3 trillion mark, which is a super important mark because that was our previous all-time high. Now, we spoke about this yesterday. Why are altcoins not moving? Many people saying, is this it? Is this the bull run? Because we haven't seen anything happen in altcoins. Guys, this is not the bull run. The bull run's coming. Like I said time and time again over the last few weeks and months, Bitcoin has to set the pace. Bitcoin has to break through and do what it just has done. This is what the market has been waiting for. Now you sit back and wait to see how that flows into altcoins. Remember, in the previous cycle, we had 3 trillion in the market. 3 trillion in the market, and yet Bitcoin only reached a high of 69,000. Now we've got 3 trillion in the market. Bitcoin is sat at 91,000, which means right now, Bitcoin dominance is strong. Right now, Bitcoin has that 60% dominance, which again, we predicted here on this channel. We spoke about this, right? We plotted all of these charts and we went through all the analysis when nobody could care about crypto. We plotted this together, and shout out to you guys who were here when I was making all these videos day after day after day for year after year. Right? You guys saw this, and we spoke about how Bitcoin dominance would work its way towards 60, and it's done that. It's done that. The next level is up to 70, but there's no guarantee it'll go up to 70, which was the level it got to last time. In other words, there's still room for Bitcoin to dominate for a bit. But eventually, like we see time and time again, the altcoin moment will come when money starts divesting into altcoins. Why? Because people are searching for yield. People go further down the risk spectrum when they want more of a return. You have to understand that. If you can get a good return in Bitcoin, why are you going to go further down the risk spectrum? If you held Bitcoin last week, you made 17%. If you held Bitcoin this week, you held 13%. You made 30% on Bitcoin in about 7-8 days. Insanity, right? So if you're making 30% there on a 1.7 or whatever the market cap right now is of Bitcoin, what's the current market cap? 1.8 trillion now, we've just hit 1.8 trillion asset, which isn't going to move that easily. Why would you go and hold a Fantom? Or you wouldn't, right? So you have the Bitcoin moment, and that is why you've got to be patient. the money will rotate over. We've seen it time and time again. Bitcoin season, then you've heard about the Ethereum season, then you've heard about the mid-cap season and the altcoin season. You start to see this all popping up. So you guys have to be patient. For me, this is not the bull run. This is just the opening of the gate to say, you know what, we're kicking off. This is the first catalyst, Bitcoin going and doing its thing, and then altcoins going. And that is why I'm locked to load on my altcoins. I'm not trying to rotate my altcoins into Bitcoin and pretend I'm so smart that, oh, I'm going to go into Bitcoin because Bitcoin's moving now. And then when dominance falls, I'm going to rotate everything into altcoins. Nah, I'm not that smart. If you're smart, go do that, guys. I'm not that smart. I'm going to hold Bitcoin. I'm going to hold my favorite altcoins, and that's it. Simple as that. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you like this type of content, don't forget to smash the likes. Do not forget to subscribe. If you actively want to trade with me, we've got some winning trades open right now. Right now, Avalanche is running at 20% on a spot trade. Don't play with me, guys. IjazCrypto.com/TG. Sign up to Bybit, Mexi, BitGet. Those are the exchanges which support the channel and making content like this possible. So go show them some love using the links in the description. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.